Well, isn't this just interesting?
Totally blew up the use of hydroxychloroquine. And then when it comes to ivermectin, which, by the way, because I was contacted by so many people, I referred them to doctors who actually had the courage and compassion to treat vaccine-injured individuals. It works. But I was going to ask you whether you were involved in the FDA attack on ivermectin. You had a interview on CNN on August 29th of 2021, where, again, I just don't want to take time to find the exact quote, but you said there's no evidence that ivermectin is helpful. On that exact same day, and I've got the studies right here. There was a website that was tracking the random controlled studies.
That's a stack of papers. Mm-hmm.
Here they are, showing 60-70% efficacy of ivermectin. The same day you say there's no evidence, there was all kinds of evidence.
Yeah.
Loved ones had to go to hospitals, had to sue hospitals. Just, would you try it? So I would want to know, to what extent were you involved in sabotaging hydroxychloroquine, ivermectin, and did you do that because you knew the only way you get an emergency use authorization for these drugs, these experimental gene therapy, was if there was no effective treatment, you couldn't get the emergency use authorization. So is that why you helped sabotage?
I mean, you heard it from the horse's mouth right there. 70% effectiveness. And I love how Fauci just sat there and pleaded the fifth. Probably a smart move on you there, Fauci, because you know that stuff actually works. And you know that there is, beyond that stack that man was holding, of evidence of the efficiency, the effectiveness of ivermectin. Okay. And if you would like to get you some ivermectin, just to have around the house, just in case, go to the link in my bio. Use the code word PETTY. Save you some money. Okay? Fauci, honey, the truth will set you free, baby. Quit denying it.
After everything that's come out about Fauci, everything that we've learned, they're still wearing masks. You heard me right. Is there any hope for these people? Because I'm questioning if they will ever come out of this TDS, psychosis they're in. So today I go to lunch and there's a park outside of the place that we eat. And there is this man, I don't know what it was, wearing a mask in public, gets in their car and keeps the mask on. And it just got me thinking. I was thinking about it the whole way home. Is there any hope for these people? After everything that we've learned, if you didn't know, because before they were it's all a conspiracy theory, none of it's true, we need to be safe still. So all of this stuff that's come out, Anthony Fauci's diary that he didn't want released unless it was redacted, who the F redacts a diary? I mean, we literally got to see behind the scenes that Anthony Fauci, as we all suspected, was just a power-hungry little gremlin that no one ever liked, and he got a taste of fame, and he ran with it. He made up all this nonsense that he didn't even believe himself so that he could gain power. And these people are still wearing masks. Is it that they just don't want to do any research? They don't want to read anything that's come out? They just want to be spoon-fed BS? Because I cannot imagine living in fear your whole life, thinking that, germs are out to get you, and there's this big bad boogeyman, and then never wanting to make sure that you're scared for legitimate reasons. How do we move forward in society with these people when they can't even open up a video and watch it because they've been told that we are evil and we are liars? Wouldn't you want to make sure that that's true? Because I sit and watch all of your videos all day, every day to make sure that you're still insane. Newsflash, you are. It is just crazy to me that the Democratic Party has convinced all these people that they just need to isolate themselves. They need to watch all liberal content, and they need to make sure that they're not allowing any different ideas into their head. Because I can guarantee if that person had just done a little bit of research or watched any of the stuff that's come out about Fauci, they wouldn't still be wearing a face diaper. But I guess, why am I surprised? I shouldn't even be surprised. Do you guys think that these people are ever going to wake up? Let me know.
Hunter's on the warpath. The target, same as the commies.
I'm not running for anything, so I can say whatever the I want. And here's what I think. I think Chuck Schumer's a piece of and that he my dad over. Nancy Pelosi at the time also was involved in that, and so I don't have anything nice to say about it.
We're not fans
and you know
of
what?
Nancy.
And I'm supposed to be the guy that says, oh, but you know what? What for what Nancy Pelosi has contributed to this country and to the Democratic Party? I'm not supposed to that, man.
Biden Jr. slashing attacks are drawing blood. Schumer's already wounded, and Hunter's laying the wood to him on Barstool. That's going to get traction with young men. The Democrat Party can't afford to lose any more men. More on that later. Their generals are being disrespected. The revolution's coming right at them.
Trump has turned it into the single most profitable scam of his. Please sit down. Please sit down.
How dare you talk about corruption? How dare you talk about corruption?
Thank you for your diatribe. Now, let's continue. Let's continue and let the people didn't come to hear you.
The Hamas wing wants Chuck's head on a platter, and Hunter's bringing the machete to the fatwa. The party stabbed his dad in the back but left the son alive. The mainstream media won't put him on. He's banned. And being banned makes you look dangerous, and danger sells. He's a threat to the machine, and he's not a communist. He's carving his own lane.
You know who stood with my dad? 100%. Black Caucus, Hispanic Caucus, the Progressive Caucus, all of the constituent parts of the Democratic Party, which are the base, whether you like it or not. But you know who didn't stand with him? The editorial board of the New York Times, the Pod Save America guys, David Axelrod, Rahm Emanuel, all of the technocrats of the Democratic Party that don't have any feel or touch for the actual people that actually organize and vote. But they speak for them all the time. So that part did piss me off.
Respect is everything in politics. But when you lose power, you lose respect. So the party's dragging Joe's name through the mud because it cost them.
People want fighters. I think President Biden and Kamala Harris lost the last election because nobody believed that they were fighters. At least they believed Trump was a fighter. He'd fight with a fire hydrant just for the fun of it.
Hunter Biden's a scrappy cat. A source told me a story about him. He was walking with his brother Bo on a college campus. Some guy poked his head out of the second story of a fraternity house, started yelling at Hunter, "F you, your dad sucks." Bo said, "Don't do it, Hunter." Next thing you know, Hunter runs to the house, climbs straight up the facade, grabs a kid from his collar, throws him down from the second floor window, and just pounds him. That happened so fast, no one even knew what happened. And then they went to the bar. The Democrats could use someone with some animal instincts.
And as it relates to Donald Trump, him, his sons, his daughter. I mean it, all of them, the whole family, down to the grandchildren. I hope for the rest of time that I am on this earth, that their names will live in ignominy.
Democrats are banking on a bruiser. That's not Mamala. And knee pads, never been in the ring with anybody legit. So the party is so weak, it's a turnoff. A new Quinnipiac poll says only 20% of men approve of the Democratic Party. It's basically a bachelorette party. They're loud, little annoying, and spends everybody else's money. You can't win an election without men. Sorry to break it to you, but we're half the vote. Kamala, AOC, guys don't go for that. You can't forget about the fellas.
If you're a Teamster driving a truck out of, up in Lackawanna County in PA, is that, you can vote for Joe Biden because he's probably just as confused as you are about transgenderism, and he's not going to shove it down your throat, okay? And he's going to support your union, and he's going to make it. But really, I think people miss that about that. Like, this focus on 0.2% of the population is insane to me. Like, leave him be, man. Like, Jesus Christ, must be hard enough already. Like, just leave the be.
Hunter wants to throw woke overboard. Pennsylvania is the Keystone State. It's the key to the Democrat comeback. When Democrats win it, they win the White House. Scranton Joe Jr. gets it. And so does Senator Shrek.
do a bunch of people sit around the room and say, how much kind of crazy we cram into our platform? And now it's like, oh yeah, let's abolish everything.
When a child is 3 years old, you know what their favorite thing to do is? Break stuff. They like the sound it makes. They like watching the pieces scatter, hear it shatter. It's fun. It's cause and effect. They're realizing that they have the power to break stuff. Makes them feel good. They like breaking better than building. Communists are at that stage developmentally. They want to abolish the presidency, the Senate, Pentagon, police, prisons, and of course, ICE.
I think that ICE should be abolished, and that the people at the head of this agency and the people that are shooting people in mass, the ICE agents that are killing people should be prosecuted and held accountable under United States courts of law. Let's be clear about who we're ascribing criminality to.
Communism's pretty simple. It's just turning everything upside down and watching it break. It's a revenge against America. They want to arrest the man and open up the prisons.
Would you like to have criminals out in the open?
Well, do I want criminals out in the open? Sure, I'm fine with that, because the idea of a criminal is like a little bit funny to me.
Let's just say somebody who has raped a woman.
Totally.
Would you like them to be out in the street?
I think my answer is yes, even though that's a challenging answer to say.
When Joe Schmo comes out of prison after serving his rape sentence, commie Chris Rob You Blind wants to hand him a paycheck for his hard work.
In Pennsylvania, they earn 19 cents an hour for the same work folks do outside. And how are victims going to get their restitution from incarcerated folks if those folks on the inside who's supposed to pay them back are getting 19 cents an hour?
This is what the Obama-Biden party has come to. They lost the men and are trying to win them back. Not really. They're replacing them with migrants and communists.
Let me tell you, labels, of course, are being thrown around on both sides. I look for progressive values that I have supported over the years and continue to. There are some who are more aggressive than others. Progressives are joining us in this effort, and we need them.
He said it. They need them. They'll take anything or anyone. You know people like that. No standards. People with no standards have no self-respect, and they get walked all over. That's what we're watching. Now, the only way to get respect is to earn it.
I want your viewers to say how much I love to watch Israel eliminating the Hamas leadership.
Then you may like this.
I know that upsets a lot of your viewers and a lot of your founders.
Yeah.
So, but I think it's a great thing. The question is, where does your trash outlet come from, and who's funding it? And now you're sticking a microphone in my face. So,
it's not in your face. Are you okay with Prime Minister Netanyahu being in the United States?
I love killing Hamas leadership.
Say what you want about Fetterman, but he has strong principles, and he sticks to them. You can disagree with how he feels about Israel, but you always know where he stands, and you respect it. The man's not a weasel. That's why he's a big threat to the left. He's the only one holding the line. That's why they want to put his head on a stake. But Big John's been laughing it off and going on offense.
If someone is frustrated in the Democratic Party, I would be frustrated with someone like Bernie Sanders. Really, Bernie, you have no regret endorsing and proud to stand with an accused rapist, a guy that roughs up his ex-girlfriends, a guy that had a Nazi tattoo on his chest. Some of the things that are outrageous as a Democrat are coming from people in this party, and it's not me.
For far too long, Democrats tiptoed around Bernie Sanders and then had the superdelegates just kneecap him in the dark. Sooner or later, the Democrats are going to have this fight under the bright lights. And Bernie, he wants that smoke.
I would not put too much credibility in what somebody like Fetterman says.
He said you should sit this out.
Is that what he said?
Yeah.
Do you think I should take his advice? I probably won't. So John, I'm not going to take your advice.
Think about it. This is Vermont versus Pennsylvania. Which state do the Democrats want to side with? Now, Fetterman's from Braddock, a rundown town that saw all its factory jobs move to China. That's a base the party needs if they want to win. But the Bernie bros and the commies, that's not their cup of tea. They're a bunch of wackos with grad degrees. They spend all their money on Grubhub. They're lazy and they're entitled.
people are like, oh yeah, well, I'm supposed to have that. Well, I deserve that. Well, why don't we have that? Don't we have that? Shouldn't we have that? Who gets that? And then it's like, oh, okay, well, that's democratic socialism.
That's a bad attitude, Bush. You don't deserve anything. You're not entitled to anything you don't work for. Oprah, my girl, has had it with this crowd.
You ain't had no work-life balance at 22, 23?
That's tearing us up, by the way. We're all trying to look for the balance. It ain't fair.
No.
It ain't fair. It's tearing us up.
It's not there. It's not there. You're not supposed to have it. You're supposed to lay in the work.
Dana Lash, nationally syndicated radio host. I can't believe Oprah's right. I mean, you have to grind when you're young. You can't just whine with your hand out.
I'm shocked that she said this, although she does have a history of working hard. I mean, she's a capitalist, and that's what really cracks me up, Jesse, about all these leftists. They're really capitalists. But that advice is not wrong. Can I just say something about John Fetterman really quickly? Because you had some amazing sound bites about John Fetterman. If Democrats were smart, which we all know that they're not, they would put Fetterman out there front and center on pretty much everything. That would create an existential crisis for the GOP right now. But again, they're not smart, so they're not going to put him out there for everything. So go ahead and let the Ariana Presleys, the Rashida Tlaibs, the Ilhan Omars, the Zohra Mamdanis, go ahead and let them run with the party's messaging. That's just going to be the epitaph as they are burying themselves electorally.
I like the fight. I like the fact that Bernie and Fetterman are going at it. This is the fight that Democrats have tried to keep a lid on for what, 3 elections? Yeah. If they want to move forward, they have to rumble, and we all have to see it.
Yeah. Yeah. They have this generational fight right now. You have all of the up-and-comers that like the idea of what Bernie Sanders is selling, although it's not practical. It doesn't actually work in meat space. It just sounds good online. And then you have the more practical, kind of Fetterman, dare I say Andy Bashir. I don't want to give them anything. Maybe even kind of a Josh Shapiro. He's not as crazy as the rest of them. But you're having this generational fight. It's like the kids the people who've never really they haven't lived enough, and they just think that these sound bites and bumper stickers are good and that it means something, but it doesn't. So they're having this fight. I'm going to watch it. I hope the Republicans don't follow suit. But, it's really fun to watch. It's just one works in meat space and the other doesn't. One's an online phenomenon.
They're coming over the top!
This chart right here is the reason why it feels like the entire world has been mobilized to try to destroy Donald Trump and the MAGA movement. This chart right here is why they hate the man with every fiber of their being. It has nothing to do with his bluster, the way he communicates, how fat he is, the color of his skin, the color of his hair. Has nothing to do with any of that. Doesn't have anything to do with the Epstein files or anything else. It's this chart right here. Before Donald Trump came down the golden escalators in 2015, the globalists and internationalists were well on their way to dismantling the entire Western civilization. They were well on their way to totally destroying the cultural hegemony of the United States. Americanism was almost dead. And then Donald Trump came down the escalator and he made the pillar of his entire presidency immigration. Building a wall, stopping this from happening. As we now watch countries like Spain's border collapse and thousands of military-aged men flood into the country in one day, and their leadership doing nothing to stop it, it is becoming crystal clear that this is the reason why they hate Donald Trump so much. This chart shows you what they planned all throughout the Biden administration and executed, and what Donald Trump stopped. This is the reason why it feels like all the forces of internationalism, of globalism, the politics of confiscation, the media, the Democrat Party, the EU, the United Nations, all of them. This right here is why they hate the man, and this is why they have to destroy the man. He's the only one who was willing to stand up and put a stop to that, the destruction of Western civilization.
You support this? Yeah, absolutely. An illegal alien being arrested and detained? Absolutely, yeah. You support the glorification of it? Yes. Why? I believe illegal aliens should be detained and arrested and deported. Okay, you don't believe they as humans deserve some sort of due process? You believe they get due process? Who? The illegal aliens in that video being detained, arrested? They were not given due process. They were arrested and taken. Many of them were killed. Americans are being killed by ICE. Okay, how many Americans have been killed by illegal aliens? How many have you seen? Because I know you've seen it. I have a list. There's 1,600 names just on this list that AliPac has put together. Why do you think it's okay for them to dehumanize them and demonize them throughout social media? So that's a funny question. Are you still beating your boyfriend? Excuse me? I'm not beating my boyfriend. So you're putting me into a box, number one, where they are dehumanizing them. They're not. Being arrested for breaking a federal immigration law is due process. That's not dehumanization. If I'm wrong, did Trump not call them animals? Is that not dehumanization? Some of them are animals, like MS-13 gang members, yes. Tackling and ganging up on these immigrants. Well, they're not immigrants. They're illegal aliens. Wait, what about and they broke a law. Passed away. What's her name? I will get to you next, okay? White girl. We'll get to you next. She's with me. We're talking right here. This isn't, we're not phoning a friend here. We're not phoning a friend. We're together. So. All right, we can do 2 against 1. That's fine. Okay, we'll do 2 against 1.
If this video doesn't make you pro-ICE, nothing will. Within minutes of the migrants breaching Spain today, they already started attacking people in the streets. Notice something about this crowd as well. Just look at these people. What do you notice? I notice one thing specifically right off the bat. I don't see any women and children. I don't see any families. I see military-aged men that are fired up, ready to go, look aggressive. They're so excited to be taking over another country. They're excited about this. It means they're going to be excited when they come across you and you get in their way. And what people don't understand about ICE and about Trump and what he's doing is he's trying to prevent this. You hear the leftist socialists saying they don't want prisons anymore, they don't want ICE anymore. What else could radicalize you for Trump, for ICE, than seeing this happen in Spain, where their leader decided to give everyone amnesty and this country is done? Prayers for Spain. Actually, you guys need to pray for Spain. Abolish ICE. You guys better start thinking about voting against the DSA, like your life and your country depend on it.
Thousands upon thousands upon thousands upon thousands storming what they call the EU border. Some of them swam to this island. I'm looking at tons of photos, not a single one being a woman. Now, the Spanish president, Pedro Sanchez, said on X that Spain is fully committed to providing an immediate response to the situation. I don't know if I believe that. Didn't he refuse to send in the military? I mean, that's what he's being accused of. I mean, it's so similar to Lampedusa, which was a 12-square-mile island. It's so similar to what happened in September of 23. Here's another video. Look how many women you don't see. All military-aged men. Interesting that. All men coming in. All men. Not a single woman. Do you see any babies? I didn't see any babies. None. I didn't see any. So weird that. So all of these people coming in. He said they're going to provide an immediate response. They're mobilizing all necessary resources. This is the time to build solutions and a bunch of BS that I don't care about. So I'm curious. You realize that Morocco is pretty much 99 to 100% Muslim. That's an invasion. What you just saw, that's an act of war. It's an invasion. You have all of these people coming in, military-age males. That is absolutely an invasion. There's no other way to put it.
Islam is not compatible with Western civilization. I don't think it's compatible with the Constitution. It seeks to infiltrate and then dominate and control. And it seems like it's happening. There's mosques going up all over the place. There's churches that have been around for over 100 years that are being set on fire in New York City and other states, mostly blue states. And it doesn't seem like, the radicals are going anywhere. It seems like it's only getting worse. So what do you believe is the actual practical application or practical process to try to minimize that threat?
To be honest with you, we're going to have to coalesce as a culture, which means the Christians got to get along with the non-Christian, the atheist has got to get along with the Christian and the Catholic. For that matter, Mormons love America. We've got to band together under this banner, Citizens of America. Doesn't matter what your flavor is. But if you're an American, you're going to have to stand up and say, listen, Islam is no longer advancing in our cities. That's where you got to do it, David. You got to take it on at the city level. No more permits to build mosques because your theology is diametrically opposed to the U.S. Constitution. You believe in Sharia law. Sharia, Islamic jurisprudence is diametrically opposed to the Judeo-Christian Constitution and the government of this nation. Look what's happened to Europe. They are so compromised now that they can't even participate in their own national defense because they're afraid of retaliation by the Muslims in their cities and in their streets. Look, it's happening so quick now in America, David, that we better band together if we love our freedoms. I don't care if you're an atheist. I will stand with you side by side to defend our freedoms that have been blood-bought, given to us by God in this wonderful republic, because Islam is against this Republican form of government.
So the book of James says that even the demons believe. Demons, they're aware of Jesus' claim to be Lord. They agree that Jesus is Lord. And unless you have this third aspect of faith, you do not have a saving faith. Theologians do this a lot in church history where they'll define what saving faith is. Historically, theologians have said that there are three aspects of saving faith, and that for someone to have what theologians refer to as a salvific faith, and really all three have to be present. The Latin words are notitia, assensus, and fiducia. This is like super helpful. All right, so notitia, it just means knowledge. So this is your awareness of a fact. Lake Point Church is in Dallas, Texas. That's a fact. Awareness of a claim. Okay, assensus is assent. I'm not just aware of that claim, I agree that that claim is true. And then theologians say there's a third aspect of faith, and unless you have this third aspect of faith, you do not have a saving faith. And the third aspect of faith is fiducia, and it just means trust. Okay, so now think about what you got. You got notitia, I am aware of a fact. Assensus, I agree with a fact. Fiducia, I place the entire weight of my life on that fact. I trust that fact, okay? What's interesting is if you read your New Testament, you're gonna notice that there are all three categories of people. All right, so for instance, you got Judas had notitia. He was aware of Jesus' claim to be Lord. He did not have assent or trust. Judas never affirms the lordship of Jesus. In fact, he strikingly goes out of his way to avoid affirming the lordship of Jesus. So he had notitia, but not assensus or fiducia. Honestly, the example of someone who has knowledge and assent, but not trust, demons.
Yes.
So the book of James says that even the demons believe and they shudder. They shudder. So demons, they're aware of Jesus' claim to be Lord. Number two, they agree that Jesus is Lord, but they do not have fiducia. They don't place the weight of their trust in that, okay? And then the example of saving faith, notitia, assensus, fiducia, is Peter or any converted person. And that's somebody who says this: I know that you say you're Lord. I agree that you are Lord, and I will follow you unto my death because I trust that my Lord can save me and raise me from the dead. That is saving faith. Now, we'll just say this, dude, being a pastor in the Bible Belt, you got a ton of people who they have knowledge and they even have agreement, but very frankly, they do not live their lives in obedience because they do not trust the lordship of Jesus. And to that, I would just give a warning: 2/3 faith will send you to hell. That's a very important thing to be aware of.